Hi friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Jess, and if this is your first time, thank you so much for being here. And if you're a returning friend, subscriber, whoever you are, thank you for sticking with me. For my new friends, if this is your first time, I post loads of content from this to that. So think career, lifestyle, travel, life in the Netherlands, because I live in the Netherlands, sometimes fashion, yeah. The first tip I would say is before you move to the Netherlands, you want to check out Fonda and Prayers. I never pronounce it right, but I'm going to put it here and put the link in the description box as well. So feel free to click on it and see what you have there. But you need to check things out. So it's either you come here in person and see what's available, what's obtainable, or you leverage this site to see what is available based on your own personal desires and needs. The second thing that I say should be your next tip is write down a list of your must-haves and nice-to-haves, and just align internally with yourself, with your partner, or whoever you're going to be living with on what are the deal breakers for you. What are the things that you are not ready to compromise? Like, nah, I'm not doing that. Write them down and know them. Then write the things that we consider as nice to haves. Well, if I have this, I'd be happy, but if I don't, like, you know what, it's okay. You need to have that down. You really need to keep an open mind, and that's why you can't just have a list of must-haves, because some of your must-haves may end up moving to your nice-to-haves. So be ready for that flexibility and compromise. The next tip I'll say is, now that you know what you're looking for, what you want, you need to have a budget. Try to have a budget in terms of a range, or at least a maximum, you know what I mean? But also have some flexibility, because you see that list that you have, sometimes you don't see what you want, and therefore that price that you budgeted, and sometimes you see exactly or almost exactly what you're looking for, and they're like maybe 100 euros more. So you need to be ready for that type of, be open-minded, be flexible, and be ready to shake your hand with your budgets a little bit, because we did, a little bit we did. So think about that, have your budget, but maybe set a range, have a max, like your max. Maybe you're thinking 1,500 to 2,000. Are you ready to do 2,100? Are you ready to do that? Align internally, because that part can be tricky, because when you see exactly what you want, you need to be able to move fast and not think about it too much. If you think about it too much, somebody else will make an offer and they'll cancel you. So you need to be very ready, have your money ready. The other thing I would say is a tip is, don't just have the money for the month, guys. This one is a wake-up call, especially for us in Nigeria. Your first payment is usually either double or triple. I remember that for us, we paid, I think, 3 times the rent, as our first payment. So you need to have that kind of money. You can't think about it as, oh, if it's 2K, then it's just 2K, I'm going to pay up front. They need to protect themselves as well. So also ask about this when you're doing these agreements, okay? Find out how much would you need to pay. For some people, it's just double, like you pay the rent and then you pay it the second amount, the same amount, but like double. For some people, you're paying 3 times like what we did. So you need to know that, and then gauge your accounts, your bank accounts based on that. The other tip I would share when you're home finding here is, at least for me, this was new. Normally, where I'm from, if you find a place that you like, you tell the caretaker or the lawyer rather that, okay, I'm interested, you guys pay your money and move on. Here, you actually make an application. So that means you treat this like a job. You see how you went around looking for viewing these different homes, and then making your short list on the ones that you like, and then finally deciding on the one that you want to choose. Yes, you will now realize that you are not the employer. The house owner or the landlord is your employer. So they need to check that you are qualified to stay in their house. So you have to do like very small thing, not a big deal. It can just be like I just mentally saw it as an essay. It's like, oh, writing an essay about you and your family, but it was short. It was like, what, a paragraph or two. So you send that and they can decide that they don't want you. Luckily, we had no issues like that. I think one thing that the folks look out for here is, I don't know what the word is. It's like credibility. Yeah, I think that's the word. Credibility in terms of, where do you work? Can you afford this house rent? Can you? Then there are people who will say no to you for different reasons. Some people have heard stuff like maybe they didn't let the gay couple stay in, or they didn't let the certain race stay. I mean, at the end of the day, who wants to live in a house where they are racist or they are homophobic or whatever? Like, you don't want to be there anyways. But they could say no to you for different reasons. I've heard all these different stories. So yeah, that's when you know that you are at the actual candidate and not the employer. So when you're going up and down and you're looking for, you're choosing this one, this one, this one. When it's time to pick the one, then you don't have power. The only power you have is to be yourself. The way I talk about my interview tips, all the videos I make, that's where you will need those tips, because now they can choose you, they can decide not to choose you. So you need to be ready for that outcome. For some people, it's been quite heartbreaking because they really see an apartment, like they see an apartment that they really like, and then the landlord is just like, nah, not happening. Bye, Felicia. And they pick someone else over them. Yeah, it's annoying, and then sometimes you don't even know why that happened. So that's one thing I'd say, like, be prepared. Like, you may choose them, but they may not choose you. So the other thing that I think people don't talk about a lot is negotiation. I remember, like, when we found our apartment, like, can we negotiate? Because this apartment that we're staying in, surprisingly, was the most expensive out of every other apartment that we saw. Even the ones that had a garden. So it was pinching me that as nice and spacious as it is, like, why is it so expensive? But it was the one for us. Like, we spiritually connected to this house, so we knew it was the one for us. But we did ask if it was possible to negotiate, because we're Nigerians and that's how we roll. So I think the thing is, it's very unlikely that you get that room to negotiate. So most people tell you that, oh no, they don't negotiate house rent. It's almost like you go to a store and you see a price tag. As the price tag came, is how you are paying for it. There's nothing like, can you remove 10 euros for me? It does not work like that. So it comes with a price tag, but there are certain things that I feel like you can't talk about. So it depends on what the house comes with. When we got this apartment, when we chose it, we did negotiate, but not from the house rent itself. So the apartment comes with a cleaning service that you pay for. And then we did negotiate on that one, but not on the house rent itself. So I'd always say nothing is impossible, so have the mindset to try. But please do not think about it from, am I going to pay this because you're asking for this? Like, no, think about house rent here as a price tag. But if there are these extra things that come as miscellaneous that you don't think you may need from them, then maybe you guys can talk about that. And negotiation doesn't always have to be about money. It can be, oh, can we get a different bed in this room? Or can we get a different mattress in this room? It could be that. So think about negotiation from a wider lens and not just from a money standpoint. That's my other tip. And if you don't want something in the house, maybe you think something is just not your taste, you can discuss about the potential of getting that out. To me, I see that as a negotiation. Again, think about negotiation from a wider lens and not from only financial perspective. My other tip is be flexible, be very open-minded, because you're not going to get exactly what you want, but you can get something quite close. Well, someone has interrupted my video, and this video must happen today, otherwise I'll cancel it. So the other thing I haven't mentioned is you need to know whether you want a furnished apartment or an unfurnished apartment, right? So that's another tip. You need to know what you want and then use that in your search. Tada, do you want to spoil that? Yeah. No, you don't want to do that. Another tip in terms of pricing is the type of apartment that you are looking for. Do you want a furnished or unfurnished or semi-furnished? These three things contribute to the pricing factor. So typically, if you want an unfurnished apartment, from what I've seen, it's usually, in quotes, usually not all the time, slightly cheaper than a furnished apartment for obvious reasons. A furnished apartment comes with actual things and properties and exactly. So of course, it's almost like you're paying maintenance fee for these things, right? So that's why it's slightly more expensive. But I've also seen where there are cases of unfurnished apartments that are a lot more expensive than furnished apartment. At the end of the day, there are other factors that contribute to the pricing when it comes to real estate. So you can think about the area, you can think about the size, the number of bedrooms, the number of facilities or amenities that it has. So that's also a contributing factor. Another important thing when you are looking for an apartment, before you choose, select, or actually make an offer, please try to understand the type of tenancy agreement. So for some people, it can be for a year. There's a way it's called, I will put it in this video, but there are some houses or apartments that live under 2 years, something like that. So I'm going to put, and I'm also going to find you guys a link where you can actually read for more information. So please make sure you know the type. Oh my God, why is this so bright? So please make sure you know the type of rental agreement that the house or apartment comes with. Okay. And then my final tip is consider using an agent, because these agents actually are very instrumental. If I think about my experience, I can't relate to the next person who truly is going through hell because of the relocation service partner that I worked with. Yes, I didn't pay for it, so I know you guys can call me out on that one. My company did, but I found it very helpful because they can work. My life was made easier because I used a third-party agent. So what these guys can do for you that makes life super easy is they can work with multiple brokers. You know, the frustration about doing this thing yourself that I hear from people is you find an apartment that you really like online, you reach out to the person or the broker whose number is written on there, and sometimes they don't get back to you, they don't take their calls, you email them, no response. So it's like you are pained that you're losing out on a potential home for you. So when you use an agent, you're not going to have any of those issues because it's almost like they know each other. It's a circle. You know how these things are. Needless to say, it is better when you use an agent, but do whatever works best for you as an individual when it comes to your budget. Thank you guys for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you enjoyed this video by giving this video a nice thumbs up. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and help me take it a step further by doing what? Hitting that notification bell so that you get notified when I post my next video. Okay, thank you again, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.